Okay, go ahead, Mo.
Hello,
Oh, he's got a
ladies and
flash
gentlemen.
shirt.
Welcome to Pairs of the Mind. I am your host, Chris, aka Mo, for this one. Joining me is Anastasia Laceby
Hi.
and James Hinnix.
Hello.
And we're here to discuss Invasion.
Nice.
This is a review of the Invasion DVD. Mainly, it's made up of 3 episodes, as you can see on the back, which are Flash Season 3, Episode 8, Arrow Season 5, Episode 8, and DC Legends of Tomorrow Season 2, Episode 7. And it contains a couple of special features.
Cool.
So, yeah, technically it was a 4-episode crossover event, but literally Supergirl's part was already in Flash's episode, so who gives a shit?
Yeah, it wasn't even worth watching.
To be fair, the episode's worth watching.
Well, I'm sure it's a good episode, but I mean, in terms of necessity for the crossover.
No, it was just there as like a little teaser to set you up so you were hyped up to then watch it.
Yes.
Because it was like a 4-night crossover, which is awesome.
Right.
But yeah.
Now, when did this air on TV?
Last year.
Okay. So this was after Supergirl had moved to CW.
Yeah, I think probably. Yeah, it would have been because it would have been season 2.
Cool.
But yeah, so hence it was the 4-episode CW event. But yeah, and it's based on the comic of the same name, Invasion, with the Dominators, which is awesome. They look cool in this. They look different to how they did in the comic, but that's fine. I mean, I don't need to tell you guys what they look like in the comic.
Yeah.
No one read it. Okay. But basically, they were a completely different color and had a big red circle on their head.
Yeah. Well, they kind of had the red circle because it was a red light, an electrical light thing instead of a circle.
Yes, so they didn't have it. By saying they technically had the circle, but it wasn't a circle, then they didn't have the circle.
Well, it was still circular. It was just a light pattern instead of like a skin coloration.
Yeah, this was actually a big-ass, big circle in the middle of the forehead.
Like Brainiac almost, but not.
Oh, okay.
That's what it sounds like.
Like a giant red dot. It was awesome. These ones were probably closer to the Brainiac stuff, but this one's like a giant red dot. But yeah. And as it says there, all 3 crossover episodes together for the first time.
Nice. And
they had an interesting task with this, because they tried to make it like a movie. That was always their intent, so it feels like a giant movie if you watch them all back to back. But at the same time, each episode needs to feel like an episode of their respected show. Like the Flash episode felt different to the Arrow episode because they're 2 completely different shows. And like the Legends one felt different.
Yes.
Which worked. That's why like the Flash one, it focused more on Flash's characters and it helped further his story and it felt like a Flash episode. Arrows felt more on played more to the drama and the stuff that had happened in previous seasons of Arrow and all that sort of felt like an Arrow episode. And Legends episode was a little bit more fun right at the end, which is Legends. Legends is more of the fun little quirky show.
Yes.
I mean, it says it all when during the crossover, those 3 kept having moments together to show how important the 3 of them were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And none of them were in Legends. Like, they could have had someone from Legends hook. Come on.
You would think.
Yep. But, yeah, what did you think of watching it then, Jim?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool. And given that I haven't seen all the content. Yes. Did it? Hang on. Did it not
switch? Not swapped over.
It didn't.
Most people would check that.
Sorry, I thought I checked it. Anyway, as I was saying, anyway, it was enjoyable to watch, and given that I didn't have the context of having watched the shows, it was fun to pick out the little things here and there, the little references to this, that, and the other thing. So I said, oh, this character, kind of figuring out who people were, whose sides they were on, stuff like that. That was a lot of fun getting kind of experience all for the first time through this big crossover event. Also, I believe from what I read that Arrow's episode also doubled as its 100th episode, which is why they took advantage of the opportunity to have a lot of old characters from the earlier seasons come back.
Yep. Which I like that. What did you think, Pew, when you watched it? Because I don't think you've rewatched it. I think you only watched it when it was on TV. So you.
Yeah. Yeah. I really liked it a whole lot. I thought it was simple, but it was exactly what it needed to be and what I wanted it to be. So it worked out and it's cool. I think the best part for me was when they're all fighting an arrow. Like that was the coolest thing for me, and I got the most out of it. It was like the best because it was cool to be like, oh fuck, now Supergirl's evil, and she's all like, they just emphasize how fucked you are. And it was still cool how they like defeated them and everything. Anyway, and I like Oliver's like God. I have to kind of
just so you know, Jim, you were mumbling over Pew then.
Sorry.
I don't know what you were mumbling about, but you were mumbling
like
over.
Oliver Queen always reminds me of like Batman and how it's like, oh God, I'm super fucked, but somehow I'm gonna make it work anyway.
He is basically in Arrow. Even with some of the storylines they've done, he's pretty much Batman without having to do Batman for that world.
Yes.
Like at one point, Flash was going to be like the Superman at one point, but when they got Supergirl, they don't need that. He can be for the other ones. Each one of the shows has a respective twist on some of the universes, which is cool.
Yeah.
So now Flash has become more just for the regular metahumans that aren't Superman, whereas if you go to Supergirl, she's filled with aliens, like manhunters on there and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And we've also seen Superman on that show.
Mm-hmm.
And her dad was technically Superman, but that's not neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
Dean Kane's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's cool when he came back too, but yeah, basically...
He came back? Nice.
Yes, he came back. But yeah, basically, yeah, and as you can see there's a huge variety of cast.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the storyline is completely different to the comics, and I'm okay with this. Only because it's not supposed to be in a complete adaptation. It's meant to be loosely based upon it for the respected shows.
Right.
Like they're doing one next year, it's going to be the same, and we will be reviewing that when it airs next year, won't we?
Yes.
But basically, it's a case of, yeah, like one of the big differences between these and the comics, as I've said with all the shows, just for people wondering, is they don't really have secret identities.
Not really.
I mentioned to Jim that, Iris found out in this episode, which I hadn't noticed the first time, that Oliver was the Green Lantern. I was like, Green Arrow.
Yeah.
And it just instantly gets fucking glossed over like a throwaway line. And she's like, wait, Oliver Queen's the Green Arrow? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, whoa, that makes me even hotter. He's like, oh, come on. And that's it. They just moved the hell on. It's never addressed again. I miss secret identities. That's always fun. But in these shows, because they feel they're unrealistic to keep them going with how much people interact with stuff and all that, they feel that they're unrealistic in a modern world or whatever. So by like episode 5 or 6 on most of these shows, half their supporting cast know who they are.
Yeah.
So they can so they don't have to do the superhero. Oh my God! Oh, Superman is needed nearby. But Clark Kent can't leave this building. What can he do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, they're classic storytelling. I love secret identities. They're wonderful. And seeing how they come around, like hiding who they are, is brilliant. The closest to it we had was in Supergirl, when Kat figured out that Supergirl was Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
And she mentioned to Kara that, you're Supergirl. She's like, no, I'm not. And she said, don't lie to me. Just take off the glasses. And she's like, no. She's like, take them off. I'm going to assume it's a yes. And she's like, but I'm not Supergirl. We just look similar. And then she gets Manhunter to appear later on outside the window with Supergirl when Kara's in the room. Because obviously his shape-shifting ability.
Yeah.
Brilliant. However, that's completely undone, as Pew knows from season 2. Because in season 2, when Kat came back, she gives her advice and goes, cut the crap. I know you're Supergirl. She's like, no. She's like, stop it. You're not going to fool me again. I know it's you. She's like, okay. They just move on.
Mm-hmm. I'm kind of looking forward to the still whole Lena Supergirl thing, because Lena doesn't know yet, and she kind of like is she's not anti-alien, but she's definitely pro kind of human, but not to the intensity Lex is, obviously. So that'll be an interesting like kind of thing. I mean, eventually she'll get over it and don't care, and like they'll be fine in like 2 episodes or something. But you know,
she'll inevitably become completely evil by it. And have to be destroyed. I mean, she is played by the actress who played Morgana.
Yeah, but I really like her as good. I super like her as good because she's like the one person who's good, but not so good that it's obnoxious and I don't believe it, or like
she-
it's not.
She's good as good, but she's better at being bad. She's
I
a
don't know.
really good bad guy.
I loved her as being good, so I
I
hope
will
she stays
say,
good.
I will say for Supergirl, I want Maxwell Lord back.
Yes.
Oh, he was cool. I liked Maxwell Lord.
And I will say, I will.
Back when he wasn't used for sex. Sorry, that's Ditto.
Huh. As far as she realized she was a lesbian.
Yeah, in like 6 months when she's like, oh, I really. But even if she like her kind of sister doesn't suddenly get together with Maxwell Lord, that's fine. He was still a great character, and the fact he was so convinced, like he played the aliens against the humans, all for the sole purpose of winning himself, like a Lex type character, to the point that the fact he's now just free and walking around and no one's addressing this is kind of huge. This should basically be like Batman saying, okay, I'm not going to catch the Joker this week. He helped us once. It's fine. That's not going to come back to bite me. He's out there somewhere. Who cares? Let's never address this again. He needs to come back. That actor needs to come back.
I like to see the the Bizarro chick or come back as like her own thing or something. And then they could have Max Lord come back from that.
I want Bizarro Supergirl to come back if she starts to speak like Bizarro.
Yeah, I want her to stay Bizarro, but like, have her back.
I mentioned to Jim season 1 of Supergirl, I didn't like having Red K and Bizarro right next to each other because they're very similar storylines of people getting confused that Supergirl's evil.
Yeah.
Let's spread these out a bit so it's not the samey.
Yeah.
But
It's a good call.
But like I said, with this, there's a load of cool stuff with this. There's loads of references to various other stuff. It's not just these shows. Like, for example, they make a reference, as I mentioned to Pew, to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh, okay. Did you not catch that one?
I did not catch that one.
Literally, look at Supergirl, and she lands down on that crate and poses like Spider-Man. Goes, "Hey guys!"
Oh,
It's exactly the same as Spider-Man's intro, and I'm like,
I
"That's
missed that."
wonderful."
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, that's just wonderful. And obviously, this references to Princess Bride. That one's too obvious.
That one's obvious. Yeah, I got
loud.
that one. I haven't even seen that movie, and I got that one.
Yeah, because like I said, they state out right afterwards. We're referencing Princess Bride. And you're like, oh, okay. Not being confused with the Princess Diaries. But yeah, as you can see that, like it opens up with them all in trouble. It's like, you really did it this time, Barry. And then you're like, oh shit's going down. And then it goes to 10 months earlier. I think it's 10 months. And you're like, that's awesome. Or 10 weeks. It was one of the two. And I'm like, that's awesome. Now I'm hooked because I want to know what the fuck's going on. I when they're done right, those types of openings work.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't like with this, as I mentioned to Pew, Cisco. As I mentioned in the past, I like Cisco when he was the comic relief character in season 1. He plays him so fucking brilliantly. But when they had to make him dark and edgy and three-dimensional, so now his brother's dead, and then this episode, he goes back in time and makes one mistake trying to save someone. It's like, oh my god, now I understand exactly what what Barry was feeling. That's not at all convenient. And you're like, yeah, okay. Fuck you, Cisco.
Not everyone. It's kind of weird how everybody has powers now, and it's like
I found it funny that the two they left on board that ship, in my opinion, I wish the ship had exploded. At this point, they're the two most annoying characters in the franchise of Felicity, who the whole show of Arrow revolves around. Fuck her. And Cisco, who isn't terrible. He's just in a really terrible storyline right now where they do it to try and make him three-dimensional, and not everyone needs
he's
it.
gonna get better though, or getting better. Where Felicity, it's kind of like, no, this is like throwing a life preserver on the Titanic. It's not going to get better.
And I will mention, Felicity was great in season 1.
Yeah.
Felicity was great at first until they overhyped her and made her the focus of the show.
And then she became Oracle, and then she wasn't again, and then it was like, what? And
That's the blonde girl with the glasses, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Although
Yeah.
it was kind of funny when Felicity and Kara both had the glasses on at the same time because they basically have the same look.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But I will say, I do like Caitlin Snow.
Yes.
I wish we'd got to see Killer Frost in this. I love her as Killer Frost. She's awesome.
You always like people when they're evil.
To be fair, Killer Frost is an actual proper comic book character. I like that when you're seeing her with the
I
ice
know.
powers.
I know. I'm just saying in every show you always like when someone's like evil.
As I
Having
just pointed out, not Cisco.
Yeah, not Cisco though, except for
Like
Cisco.
when they went to the alternate world and we got to see Vibe and all the other stuff, and I'm like, oh, fuck off, stop this.
Yeah.
Two things. Number one, didn't I see, like I said, having not watched the show, didn't I see a story arc where she was starting to develop her Killer Frost powers anyway?
Yes, she does develop them, and pretty much she becomes Killer Frost at one point.
Yeah.
And during the Salator arc, she gets a magic bracelet that stops her powers that she gets from who the hell does Jim know him as? Malco from Harry Potter, the little blonde kid.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Malfoy. Got it. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Okay.
The one who literally his look is, hey, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was popular 2 years ago. Let's make Spike's hair and Spike's look, and let's put another kid. That's cool.
I liked him. I liked him though, his character, like as he went on though.
I don't like Harry Potter shit.
I mean, I don't like him. No, I'm not saying Harry Potter. I mean, I like him as the character in here better than I ever liked him in Harry Potter.
Him in here was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Him in Rise of Planet of the Apes was wonderful. I mean, I like him on this, yeah. I'm surprised Jim didn't mention him.
I don't remember. I only remember seeing him for a second in the episode. I forgot he was there.
Yeah, he was there. I thought you would have mentioned it more. He's from something you like.
I'm kind of sad he's not in the next season of Flash. It's like, oh, why did you go back? No.
Yeah. Also, since you brought him up, is it just weird that Cisco have the most plot-convenient powers in the history of superpowers?
Kind of.
No.
Because we need information. I'm just going to vibe us to where the person is so we can conveniently get any plot information we need right now.
To be fair, he could only go to them if he knows where they are, and he had to get the device. He couldn't do that earlier.
Right.
Like I said, kind of, but there are rules in place, so he literally can't do anything.
Rules in place and doesn't exploit it as much as you think.
Yeah.
The most convenient plot powers ever would probably be something like Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
I don't mean from the Marvel movies. I mean in the comics, where she had the power to suddenly change probability, and you're like, oh, okay. That's what her magic powers are. So it's not at all probable for like a block of ice to suddenly become a race car filled with people and drive off. That's not how probability works. Fuck off. And that's not an example, but I feel it should be.
Yeah, that should be.
I feel that's probably happened.
More likely than not. Fair enough.
But yeah, like I said, the invasion arc. It's a good arc. I'm looking forward to next year's. I like this DVD's worth it. If you like the shows, it's worth it. Even if you buy all the season box sets, because you've got them all here, so you can just pop this disc in and not have to swap between all three.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the show, this DVD's worth it. The extras aren't that impressive. It's mainly just the count them sat round for like 2 seconds, talk about each episode, and it's pretty much stuff you already know. Or I will even go stretch it a bit and say it might be some stuff you don't already know. Like they talk a little bit more about the invasion storyline from the comics, which apparently you guys didn't know. And but at the same time, they don't go in depth about it. They just say, "Oh, look, this was an arc. Oh, look, here's what they looked like," and that's it. And you're like, "Oh, okay."
Gotcha.
But it's cool. It's like cool little bonuses. No one buys it for the special features.
No.
And it like I said, it's cool to have them all there.
Yeah. Like I said,
and I will say, I loved Oliver's interaction with Supergirl the first time. When it's like, okay, everyone fight you, don't hold back. And she's like, what? And when she mentions it during that bit, when she also mentions, oh, cool, you did a really great job training Barry. How did you do it? I shot him. And she's like, you shot him? I love every episode where basically Arrow and Flash cross over. they reference now, or at least every other one, they reference the fact Oliver shot Barry in the back with a bow and arrow multiple times.
It's like, I heard
Like,
you
that
had
was-
super healing. Hope this works. Like,
Yeah, I love that in the training one, the way he's like, and he pulls it back and he fires it, and Flash is like, and just dodges his arrow and goes, see? And then behind him, a thing pops up and just shoots him in the back with an arrow. He's like, see, you need to be prepared for anything, not just what's in front of you. I'm like, oh, that's fucking funny. And he even gets him when they're fighting each other too by shooting behind him. He's like, you missed. No, I didn't. Boom, explosion. You're like, why stop falling for this Flash? But to be fair, they need to do that because obviously Oliver needs to be cool.
Yeah. One thing I did have trouble figuring out. Tom Cavanaugh on this show, HR, is he a good guy or a bad guy? Because I couldn't tell.
good.
Okay, because he seemed like he was a little bit iffy. Like he was that I want to be a part of the team, but you're not gonna let me be a part of the team because you don't think I'm good enough for this. So I'm gonna
No, Jim, he's the third version of that character we've had now. First one was Reverse Flash, so he was evil. The second one, no one cares about. And the third one, no one really cares about because they keep swapping Wells. And like, stop bringing up more Wells. Like, next season, if he's a different Wells, I'm just going to be like, oh, fuck off. Stop. Just pick a
Like,
Wells and stick with it.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna bring the second one like back just for highs.
I hope they bring the first one back.
That would be cool too, but I think they're with the whole Wally thing. I think they're gonna do the whole second one because of Justice Quick, maybe.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I can see them.
I don't think they'll bring the first one back because
He erased from existence.
whenever he comes back, it's always the person who was Reverse Flash before he took over the body of Wells.
Yeah.
So it's that actor, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine because that means you don't get too many confusion with me. Like, okay, but yeah, third version of this guy, he's not really a scientist. The third one,
He's kind of like an artist. Like
he's like an artist. He writes books and stuff, and the only reason he's able to do some of this science stuff is because he's already stolen what someone else has done before him. So he's not. But he's a good guy. He's just
okay. I just got really nervous when he's like, yeah, that's okay, Wally. I'm gonna train you behind everybody's back. This can't possibly end badly.
No, it will. But yeah. But yeah, he's a good guy. But
okay, fair enough. Also, the other since you're talking about Arrow and Barry, I also like what Barry's like. Oh, we gotta go help, and he pulls Arrow and Speedy out of the fight, pulls it back, and Arrow's just like, "What is it, Barry? Another evil speedster?"
Yep.
Like, he's getting so tired of this shit.
Yep. I also love the fact when he does that with Diggle. Diggle just goes off, goes outside on the balcony. He's like, blah, blah, just throwing up. It's like, God damn it, my life used to be normal before I met you, Barry.
yeah, he used to have a daughter before he met him too.
Yep. And it's also funny because when you look at the first Flash Arrow crossover, the first time Diggle saw Flash do super speed near him, he's like, what the hell? Like, Diggle's the only one that has normal responses for Flash's super speed. But although it's going to be interesting next season when they do the crossover, because we're going to get to see Diggle meet with his, the black character, and I don't mean any offense by that, but the African-American guy with no powers wearing a helmet. We're going to get to see him meet Guardian from Supergirl, the African-American guy wearing a helmet.
Yeah. That's the guy that became Arrow in that weird brainwash universe, right?
Diggle, yeah.
Yeah.
Diggle's cool.
He seemed cool.
James Olsen is not.
No, not really. From the half of the Supergirl season I've seen.
If your name is James, just go kill yourself.
Yeah. That's fair.
Even if it's a fictional name, go kill yourself.
That's fair. That's fair.
I will make an exception for James Dean.
Fair enough.
And maybe James Brown.
What about James Earl Jones?
He technically killed himself in episode 6.
That's fair.
But yeah, no, like I said,
Yeah.
the invasion storyline, it's worth watching. It's fun, and I'm looking forward to next year's season. I give it a thumbs up. How about you, Pio?
Oh, I really enjoyed it because I love my favorite thing is pretty much Supergirl and Arrow together. So like that just made me super happy. So I give it like a 8.5.
See, I will say I've mentioned that to someone. I wish they did the crossover of just Arrow and Supergirl.
Right?
Don't get me wrong, I like Flash and Supergirl
Yeah.
crossing over, but they've already done 2 so far.
Hmm.
Like when I got to the second one where it was Music Maestro, and it was not a good musical episode.
It was not.
I'm just like, no, okay, why not do Arrow and Supergirl? That's more fun. That'll be like a world's finest vibe of the guy with no powers teaming with the woman with all the power.
Yeah, like Batman v Superman, but this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And that would be fun. Unless James Olsen tags along.
Tell him to get the fuck out or shoot him with an arrow.
Because fuck him being Guardian. And I don't have, like I said before now, before anyone complains in the comments, I don't have a problem with James Olsen being black. If he played like Donald Glover or something, that's fine. James or Jimmy Olsen, as he's supposed to be, is supposed to be a nerd. He's not supposed to be a suave Batman character. Fuck off. I hate that change of making him a suave Batman character. No.
Yeah.
Yep.
But speaking of James, this shouldn't exist. Your rating, Jim?
I might have read this. This was really enjoyable. I would say got to be up there at a 90. I mean, it's just a lot, even without context. It was a lot of fun seeing all these characters come together, feeling the unity they have together. You know how they work together, and it just flowed really well. Just there's just enough humor to keep it light, but just enough seriousness to make you invested in the battle, and just seeing all these characters interact together as a sort of Justice League, if you will. It was just a lot of fun, and I'm kind of hoping that movie coming out in a month or so is as good.
Yep. And it should be. Wonder Woman was. To be fair, all the other ones have been good so far.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, just a really enjoyable crossover, a lot of great, and you can feel just also the emotion that's even having not seen the stuff, you can feel the emotion supposed to be there of the certain scenes, and just of the the relationships that they have, Barry's with his people about what he did with the Flashpoint, and from the Legends of Tomorrow, Victor Garber's character, the professor, and his struggle over, I didn't have a daughter but now I do, and
and I will mention to people, I will mention 2 little nitpicks, one of which is clever, one of which I didn't like.
Okay.
Arrow crossover. It bothered me having someone else playing Deathstroke where he's got the mask on and doesn't talk. I like the actor that plays Deathstroke. He's fucking brilliant. He is the best Deathstroke.
Amazing. Yeah, he's really good.
However, the one I did like was I loved they sort of like photoshopped sort of like a spirit fading Tommy into one of the scenes. You're like, oh, Tommy! We never get to see him anymore. I miss Tommy. It's unfortunate he died in season 1 and then they just moved the fuck on. Tommy was a great character.
He was an awesome character.
Well, what's everyone's line at the film? Because I know everyone said there's multiple lines they love.
I don't think I can remember a specific line, having not seen it in fresh, but I just pretty much love any kind of Arrow
Supergirl.
Yeah, Supergirl dialogue.
Yeah, like it was funny when like one of the scenes later on when Barry's even like, "What the hell did you say to her? I've never seen her angry," and she's angry. I've never seen her angry. Like that's funny. Like Olive is able to piss off Supergirl. That's brilliant. How about you, Jim?
There are 2 that come to mind. The first one is they're standing in the lineup and the Flame dude is like, "This just means she's kind of hot," and Wake is like, "No, she's hot." And then I think my favorite one is because I'm like, wow, you went there. My favorite was at the end after Adam finished having a conversation. He was like, she kind of looks like my cousin. I'm like, God damn it, Brandon Routh.
Yep. Brandon Routh is awesome, but yeah, that was cool. My favorite was Heatwave and Supergirl.
Yeah.
I just love that. And why are you called Heatwave? Well, I kind of burn everyone. Basically, we meant like killing his family with a flamethrower. She's like, "Oh, that's colourful." And you're like, "That's just awkward and funny."
I'm not gonna call you Supergirl. I'm gonna call you Skirt.
Mhm. Yep. But yeah, this was our review of Invasion.
Mhm.
Just as a preview check, do we know what the arc that's going to be adapted for the next crossover is going to be?
Yeah, it's a Crisis.
Ah, okay.
It's not Infinite Crisis. It's like Crisis. It's one of the worlds, or like Crisis of Earths or something.
Crisis
And
on Infinite Earths.
No, I just mentioned not an Infinite. But yeah, it's gonna give
Okay.
us the Ray, which will be awesome.
Okay, because Crisis on Infinite Earths and Infinite Crisis were two different. Okay.
I like Ray, who's already there. Huh.
Yes, but
Ah,
I said none of the Infinites because there's been multiple crises with the
okay.
word Infinite in there. This is not
Gotcha.
one of them.
Fair enough. Still be interesting to see though.
Yep. So peace. Have you hung up yet?